Damn, I don't think more source.
Live.
Welcome to Let's Talk To podcast, hosted by author Charnel Williams. Are you ready to spend some time with Charnel and her special guest? Join our live conversation every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, here's your host, Charnel Williams.
Hello. LaQuisha, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you for being on Let's Talk to podcast.
Thank you for having me once again.
Okay, and I want to thank everybody who's joining, who's going to join, and who's going to do the replay after that can't join. So, LaQuisha, could you introduce yourself and tell people a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so I am LaQuisha Malone, author and mentor for authors, as well as I also am a hair type beauty person. I have my own little cosmetic line as well in hair care. So I'm a mother of one, and yeah, that's about it.
That's right. And, but y'all don't know. I know every time when me and Quisha do a show together, I call her Quisha, y'all. Excuse me.
That's okay. That's
Every
okay.
time me and Quisha do a show together, me and Quisha go back. Quisha, I don't know when we met. I don't remember, but
Man.
a while, right? It's been a while.
I'd
And
say over 10 years.
y'all know the secret. We ain't never met in real life, face to face. We
No.
talk on the phone like besties. We always talk on the phone, like we
Man.
besties. She helped me, I help her. We vent to each other. So I could say you a friend. You really is a close friend.
Yes. Yes.
And plus, y'all, she been in a couple of my anthologies and gonna be in my next anthology coming out a Mother's Day. Well, how is it,
The
Felicia?
Mother's Day Nightmare Part 2.
Part two is coming soon. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about LaQuisha. I want to thank her again and thank y'all for joining. Quisha,
Mm.
we're gonna go back.
Ooh,
I know
way
you
back.
went. That's right. We're gonna go way back. I know you went to, your products now. You taking a different direction now,
Yeah.
but we're going to go back and we're going where we started off because you got to know where you started from to know where you're going. So I can safely say you're a writer.
Yes. Yes.
You had your own magazine,
Yes.
and now you still writing. Don't say we ain't gonna say was a
Yes.
writer because you
I
still
am.
write.
I am.
Um, Now you have your products, but we're gonna go step by step. Let's start with your writing,
Mm.
and I know you've been writing a long, long time. So let's start there. Your first time writing.
Mm.
When was it? What year? Do you
Mm.
remember, Quisha?
Now, when you say writing, are you meaning writing or published?
Both
Oh,
writing because you got to write and then you turn it into a then you
right.
publish it.
Right. So I guess I've always wrote. I can remember as young as elementary writing the Gold Spine books from Disney. I would write those over and over and over. Writing poetry, writing short stories. So it carried over into my junior, senior year as well. I used to write in diaries. So instead of writing my actual day, I would fictionalize into a story when I want to write inside of my diary. And it started like that. It became this story.
Mm.
And I turned to poetry so people wouldn't know who or what I was talking about, and then turned back to writing stories. And I will say, uh, you challenged me with the first anthology that you let me get in, because before I had even published my first book or anything like that. Well, after I published my first or second book, I think you approached me to go ahead and do a story, and I'm like, I've never published a story. And you were like the first story that I published. So
Mm.
did that.
So
So
was that
it
different
was 20. Was that different?
than
That
publishing a story?
Publishing a story was definitely different. It was intimidating because I wasn't sure how people were going to perceive it. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
sure how well I believed in myself, even though I had stories written already, just not published.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I've been a published author now for 16 years because I think I did my first book in 2008.
Wow,
So
that's a
that's when I
long
published my
time.
first. Yeah,
That's a
been a
long
while.
time.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
hmm So that's
So,
the beginning era.
so the beginning for you, because you said this was your first time ever doing a short story.
Yeah.
I guess I take it with other authors. Now,
Uh
did
huh.
you enjoy doing it? Because I love short stories now. I love collaborating with other authors. That's what I love doing now.
Yes. I really enjoyed it. It was a challenge, and it is something I've done more of.
Hmm.
So, yes, you can say I enjoyed it.
let me a-
uh,
so let me ask you a question because I had and I want to just let me just shout out Odette because she's in the I don't know if you see my Facebook post. She was working on this book for 20 years that I just published for her.
hmm
20 years. And she was almost in tears when I gave her her books. You understand what I'm
Oh,
saying? Yes. So I just want to shout out to her for trusting me in her work. 20 years worth of writing. You understand what I'm saying? Going
yeah.
back, she did. I couldn't even believe it when she told me she was working on this for a long time. So she just left my house, and I just want to just shout her. I just want to shout her out because she live where I live at. So I just want to shout her out, and I told her I was going to shout her out when I do my show. But getting back to you, is it easy working with
Congratulations,
me?
Odette. Uh-huh.
Is it easy working with me? How it is working with me? Is I'm a
Girl,
pain in the butt?
oh my
Be
God.
honest.
No, just playing. You are easy to work with to me. You are easy to work with. One thing I do like about working with you is that you do know what you want, and
Mhm.
you're not in the figuring it out stage like some people are, which is
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that at all.
Mhm.
But working with you is easy in that manner because you come already prepared. Research what you need to research. Look into what you need to look into.
Mhm.
And you're like, no, this is what I like, this is what I want, and you kind of know what that is, so it's kind of easy
Right.
in that manner. Um, so yeah, I would say it's easy to work with you. You don't,
Thank
and
you.
I don't,
It's
and I don't get no pushback. I think I push back more than you do, but yeah, you're easy
uh-huh.
to work with.
But it just I love working with you. You because I like working with honest people, like not afraid to tell you how they feel, how they feel. You understand what I'm saying? If I send you your manuscript back, you be like, Chanel, this. Tell me because I can't read your mind. And I work with a lot of authors that be like, well, I ain't want to say nothing, and I think that's like the wrong way to go about things because I can't if just because I like your story, that don't mean, or I like your book cover, you don't have to like what I like. You understand
Right,
what I'm saying?
right,
I'm working
right.
for you. So I try to explain that to everybody. Like, be honest, we gotta have an open communication. I think me and you, we really has an open communication. And we gotta have an open
Yeah,
communication. You gotta open them doors and you gotta hear you can't get mad at someone that's telling you how they feel about their work.
yeah, definitely gotta have thick skin because um, I always tell people when I work with them, especially I can't say new authors because there are some authors who aren't new that haven't explored themselves yet.
Uh-huh.
It's worth it to take the time to do your own research and figure out what it is that you need. Talk to people, before you start this publishing thing. Talk to people, find out what's out there. Go out there and do research in stores where you see books and look through those books. Read those first couple of pages. Like, look at the
Mm-hmm.
cover on the front, look at the back, check everything out. See what those copyright pages look like. What's needed? What's inside? Like, get to know what's out there and what you're getting yourself into because
Right.
your book is your baby. So no matter
Right.
who finishes it for you, once that book comes in your hand and everything's completely done, you got to be
Mm-hmm.
okay with that. And you want to make sure
Mm-hmm.
you're okay with the best thing possible when you're working as an indie author now. I mean, if you sign to some agent and you
Mm-hmm.
got some major publishing company, okay, you're right to kind of take it away. But outside of that, you don't have many rights there. But when you have full control over your baby, take that time and research what it's going to take to get your product the way it should look. I mean, because I know you don't know what you don't know, but that's,
Right.
ask somebody, get inside some webinars or follow some other authors that you are inspired by. And don't just follow them just to say, okay, I gave a follow. No, go through their page and look at some stuff, see what they're doing. Go to the
Yep.
store, find these similar books that's like what you're trying to publish and see what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly in the bookstore section in any store I go to. I'm like, where's the books? And I'm picking up
Uh-huh.
books. I'm taking pictures of. I'm opening it up. I'm like, okay, how many pages you got? Like, can I tell you a genre from just looking at you? Was it right? Like, I'm always trying to do a little research.
That's what I'm about to say. You doing your research. You thoroughly doing your research. But sometimes people they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to
Yeah.
do and sometimes I understand they don't have time. But a lot
Mhm.
of times they don't want to put in the work. You
I
understand what I'm
think
saying?
I think that's okay, and that's where I think people need to research what they want, like know what you want, because if you are a person who's like, I just want to pass this off to a publisher, I don't want to have my hands in it much, then you need to find, to me, a publisher who says, when I take this book, you won't see it again until the edits. Then when you approve, you don't see it again until that cover, and then you approve, you don't see it again until we say some
Mm-hmm.
final thing, or most of that middle stuff is eliminated. You don't see it until
Right.
the final product. You don't get to see the edit versions. You don't get to see
Right.
the cover, because you don't get to choose that. There are publishing
Mm-hmm.
companies out there that take pretty much full control to make your book the best it's going to be. You just take the finished product, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. There are some out there, but kind of like what we do, we give you more control over your baby, and some people don't want that. I've
Mm-hmm.
dealt with a lot of people who didn't want that. And I'm like, yeah, well, there are companies out there. When you hand it off to them, they take it and do what they're going to do, make it the best it's going to be, and give it right back.
Mm-hmm.
But you lose some rights with that. You lose some royalties with that as well.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and it's just that it's sad because a lot of people don't do their research like they supposed
it
to do,
should. It
and then a
should.
lot of people think you're going to get rich overnight. You understand what I'm
Amen.
saying? You're not getting rich overnight.
No, no.
So,
Before I published my first book, I may have taken 2 years. That 2 years
hmm,
prior, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to be serious about this. And I began to do research, like, okay, how would I get it published here? I began to talk to people in my town, of course, which is the wrong thing to do, but no, it hadn't been done in my town, small town. And they was telling me things like, you got to move out of state to New York or Chicago or somewhere, where the major houses are. Like, I got to go somewhere. I'm like, no,
mm,
I can do this. I know I can get this done. And then by the
hmm,
time I went to research in different publishing companies and looking all over their social media, looking over their web page, which social media, it wasn't too much social media, but looking all over their web page or facts pages, and
hmm,
looking at some of the books they publish, trying to research where are these books at, who are these people,
mm.
and looking at some of these authors, like, oh, they have a MySpace, or telling my age, but all these different things.
Back in the
And
day.
yeah, and I did all that, and so I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna stick with this publisher, right? Well, once I
Hmm,
found that particular publisher, it took another year before I was like, okay, I'm going to publish this book and put it out there, because what I did was I continued to do my research. I talked to them
hmm,
for months, picking their
hmm,
brain, asking them questions. We're still reading over their packages and what they do. And
hmm,
then going back and what the feedback they give me, like, okay, let me go and figure out, okay, how can I incorporate that into me? And then I'm still at the bookstore. I took a whole year after I found my publisher, not telling nobody else to do this, but to make sure that I knew what I wanted. And then I got what I wanted. Only problem is I didn't like the publisher I got with once it was all done, because I researched everything to get it published, but I didn't know anything or what to do after. So
mm.
that was the only dissatisfied part I was after I got it published, because I didn't know what I was doing once it was published. I thought, okay,
Mm.
yeah, now I'll sit back and make money. but I didn't know the aftermath. Thank God for social media today, because you
Oh,
couldn't find
yes.
that information way back then. It wasn't on YouTube, it wasn't out there. So now you can find all kind of ways of what to do after your book is published. But I think that people can slow down. I mean, we're not in a rush. I mean, it's not
Yeah,
a
you're not in a
slow
rush.
down, take your time. If you find somebody you like, I mean, I'm good on relationships. I like to build connections. So I don't mind, like, let's talk. Let's have a consultation. You're free today. Like, I just saw something on, and I want to know, how does that work for me? I see this person. How did that happen? And before I finally made my decision, and once I did the first book, I made sure I tried to learn. Like I say, I learned the things I
Right.
didn't like, learned the things I didn't do after. So when I got ready for my next book, I had more information, you
Right.
know, and I continue to learn more information every book I publish. So
And it boils down to, again, research.
yes,
Research plays a big
research,
key in
research,
what you do.
research. Yes, I heard Michael Ealy say once on 106 in Park that they asked him what would
You
you
going way back,
wait,
Quisha, okay? But go ahead. You going
we
way
definitely
back.
going way back there. So they asked him, what would you tell an aspiring actor or actress? And he told them, I would tell you to study your craft. And I was like, that stuck with me. Before I became a published author, but it stuck with me. And he was like, you should study your craft. He said, I don't care what it is you're trying to do, whether it's acting or anything you want to do with your life, you should study that craft so you can get to know it and be the best at it. And always try to be the best at it. And the only way you're gonna do it is you gotta be a study of your craft. I'm like, man. And I take that along with me in everything I do. I keep that in the
Right.
back of my mind. Study the craft.
Craft. And that's what you have to do. But far as writing, talking about you, who inspired you to start writing?
I can remember reading Carl Weber books. There was the little back in the day. We going back. They had those little cards you get in the mail, and you could just pick off like 8 books for $1 or something like that. They mail you
Oh,
all these
wow.
paperbacks, and you could become a subscriber or whatever. You get all these paperbacks you can choose from. So I chose Carl Weber. I don't know if her name is pronounced Nore or something like that. Noir. She wrote some great books. There was so many authors at that point. Nikki Turner inspires me. Rashonda Tate Billingsley, Rhonda McKnight. Even my Shiro now. Charnel Dowdell. Like, so it's like all those people inspired me then, even then. But Maya Angelou, Dr. Maya Angelou was like the first book I read that was like emotional wise that made me feel like I want to touch people like that. So that was back in elementary school. You going back?
Way back.
Now you got me going back.
Way back. So you had a lot of inspiration on writing a
Oh
book.
yes,
Your first, do you
yes,
remember the first book that you published?
yes. The first book I published is also the third book I published, because I reintroduced it. But it was called A New Pair of Shoes Step in Mine, and it was just a little pink book with pink. It was like the little pink shoes on it, and that was pretty much it. And that was a book of poetry. So that was just that. And I think I did like 40 something. I don't know. It was like a little thin book, and that was the first book in 2008.
Are you still into poetry?
I don't write it.
Oh.
It don't even come easy to me like it used to back in the day. I could write like 8 or 9 a day. It doesn't come as easy to me now. When I began to write poetry, it becomes a story. It's no longer a poem or rhythm of rhyme or reason. It's now a
Yeah.
storyline. I don't know. It's weird. But I was doing that before the poetry anyway,
Oh.
writing
Okay.
stories. So
Oh, okay. So let's talk about you. You had a magazine,
yeah.
Strawberry Lit. Did I say that right?
Yes, yes.
And
That was
I'm
my
gonna
baby.
say had because everybody revamping things. So, are you thinking about bringing it back, or are you? What's going on with that? Don't say you never. Don't do it, Quisha, because I see how you looking. I see it. Don't-
Okay, it was birthed out of my publishing company, Strawberry Publications, and it was my baby. And if I always said if I could
Mhm.
get a team or figure it out that way, and I just direct what happens,
Mm.
I would bring it back. But if I have to do it again, like I did it myself,
Mhm.
I tried it twice, and it just what I went through the first time, even though I revamped and switched some things up, a similar thing kept happening, and I was like, well,
Mhm.
I love it, but I couldn't. It was just way too expensive for me,
Yeah.
and it was very hard. Leaning and depending on people to give me what I need was the hardest, because
Yeah.
every time I thought I got ahead, I was still behind. And I'm like, man, I
Yeah.
can't get these issues out because I can't find people to give me what I need. And I wasn't
Right.
even, I went through a period where I wasn't even charging for it, and it still made it
Yeah.
hard. And it's like, this is not
And
working.
that's what I don't like. Like when you have to do, I call it the chaser.
Yes, yeah, I was
When you
doing a
have to
lot of that.
chase, and just like I say with my anthology and all this, I be after people on my anthology. I used to just let people, because I know people got things lives. You understand what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And I used to be like, Dad, I gotta get in touch with them. They take it too long. You understand what I'm saying? I gotta get in touch. But if you want your baby to go and you want it to go now, you sometimes you gotta put your foot down and set boundaries. And
Yeah,
with me, that's why I don't do due dates on my books.
yeah.
Publish my books. I don't say like you can't. How long we been working on part two? A mother's worst nightmare. Don't say it like
Been a
that,
while,
Quisha.
Brittany. Well, we've been working.
But the point is that I don't do no due date because things come up, things slow down. So, but then I don't want to rush. You understand what I'm saying? But
Well,
then you don't
see,
want.
I get what you're saying in the book aspect, but when it came
Mhm.
down to my magazine,
Mhm.
there's an expectancy of when's the next issue. And if you go too far with your issues, it's forgotten about already.
Right.
The interviews are super old. The project that we probably talked about them probably is no longer a new hot topic. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
I'm waiting too long
Right.
to get the information out there. And so I tried things like sending out a mass thing and getting like a mass production of stuff in, and even that wasn't working because like it's not just one fold. There was always two or three folds to it. I need your interview. I also need your photos.
Right.
I need that kind of information. And so it was like
Right.
very hard. If I got one, I never got the other. And it was like, oh Lord. And I'm like, I got all these interviews, and it's like I can't even make a full magazine out of this. And I knew what I was known for. So if I didn't do what I was known for, I couldn't just publish my magazine with only one interview. And some people like, well,
Yeah.
you should just do the one. That's not a magazine that I
Right.
produced. I
Right.
produced more, and I had different topics and different things that was always in each issue. So just to do an interview and all I got is the cover person and her interview or his interview, I have nobody else who's turning things. It's like, now what? Because right now I should be moved on to the next project.
Right.
But it was hard, and then I have people circling back, like, yeah, can I still do it? And I'm like, I mean, do what? I have an issue. I don't have an issue. I don't have
and
it.
and it's crazy, like, and that's how, and I feel like that too, like when I be doing things, doing my events, like, I don't know. And Quisha, you's a softie.
Maybe
Like, man,
so.
you talked about it a lot. Like, you got to
Yeah.
put your foot, like, you got to put your foot down. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So, and I tell you. But it's some people, I feel as though, as if you could tell who's business minded and who not business minded. You understand what
Most
I'm saying?
definitely.
You can tell who's business, and I learned that as over the years with my publishing company. Like, why
Hmm.
she ain't getting back with me? She want to be in an anthology. She ain't send me nothing. She ain't send me her photos. She ain't send me nothing. And then it felt like I got to keep on, to me, begging, chasing, just to get your stuff. And then I think, man, you had a conversation about one of my books, how like I can't take it, Quisha. What I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna take her out of it because if you got an anthology, and those who do anthologies know what I'm talking about. You waiting on this one person to get your story out. She done paid already, so you can't say, you know, leave her out because she done paid. So then you just wait and wait and wait, and that can be so frustrating. You know, I was frustrated from that. I was so frustrated for real. So it's just that you got to take time, and sometimes you got to set boundaries. Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to set boundaries, and whether they're gonna like you or they're not gonna like you, you always gonna have somebody that don't like your
Oh
boundaries,
yeah.
don't like what you say. But then that's when you come in. You got to stick with the force. You got to stick to your own boundaries because people
Oh yeah.
remember when I talked to you about my publishing company and we was I was like that. They called me 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, I gotta give a time. You understand what I'm saying? And my
Oh yeah.
husband told me that too. He was like, Chanel, a business, they can't go to Michael Kors, they can't go to Walmart at a certain time. And I think you told me too. Like you gotta set boundaries. And then I felt so I was like a little, I ain't gonna say afraid, but sometimes you think about your clients and you don't want to lose your clients. You understand what I'm saying? You
Oh
don't want
yeah.
to lose your clients. So then I was like, yeah, then that last 11 o'clock phone call and my publishing company not no 24 hours. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta set boundaries. I gotta set boundaries. So that's when I started setting boundaries. And you know I've been to you a lot about it.
Oh
So
yeah.
I started setting boundaries. And you gotta set boundaries for any other type of business that you own, even if you're working with people. You got to
Oh
set
yeah.
boundaries. Boundaries play the big part. And then you know what, Quisha? You got to enforce them yourself. Ain't nobody going to
Oh
enforce them
yeah.
but you. You
Mm-hmm.
got to
Definitely.
enforce them. So you done graduated from the magazine. We're going to call it a graduation. You know, you done graduate from now you got some other things going on with yourself. You
Yeah.
graduated and now you still walking up that ladder. You ain't stopped. Let's talk
Mhm.
about your product. Let's talk about your new company. This your new baby, Quisha. Talk
Yes.
about it. Tell us about it.
Yes. So I don't know. I after 50, I looked up. It was 15 years into this writing stuff, and I can't say I lost the joy in it over the time. And I hit 40, and I was like,
Who you
I
old
got
psych? I'm just playing with you. Okay.
feeling. But I hit 40, and I just looked up and I said, well, I got 10 more years till I hit 50. I just like what I'm gonna do for this decade. And that I didn't, I haven't done in my previous decades. Like what I want to do. I got 10 years to do it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna just push the writing, set it aside. Don't worry about that for now. And another love that I wanted to do before I published my book was hair. Getting into hair care. I had got to a point to where I lost my hair. It fell out. Don't know. I didn't take care of it. I bleached it and didn't know what to do after that. So I wasn't taking care of it. And I loved it at first. It was beautiful. And then I didn't know, this is in 2000, what, 7, 6. I don't know. I didn't know you're supposed to keep it moisturized, which I thought I was doing. But I would go a long periods of time where I probably wasn't or whatever. I don't know what I was doing to it. But I looked up one day and my hair came out. It was breaking off. And I was like, oh my God, I've never had short hair before. So I went on a journey of trying to figure out how do I grow my hair back fast because I didn't wear wigs. I didn't do that type of thing at the time. So I'm like, what do I do? And I got on YouTube and I found Tracy Williams, I think that's her name, who owned Kiss. And it was a hair, she had hair down to her butt. And she was a black woman. And I'm like, I've never seen it. Who are you and where you come from? And she was teaching black women how to take care of their hair. And it was nothing natural back then. Everybody was relaxed back then. And she would teach you how to take care of relaxed hair. And I'm like, wow. And I started seeing other people, little gurus or whatever, with their long, beautiful hair. And everybody would when because that's how I research, I study. So I'm looking at all the videos, I'm going down their pages, and just about everybody I found can trace back to this woman named Tracy. I'm like, oh, so you
Mm-hmm.
are the founding mother of this stuff on YouTube. So I
Mm.
went and watched all her videos and a lot of other people videos, and I began to the process and fell in love with the journey of it and grew my hair longer than it's ever been. And
Mm.
it was thick, it was healthy, it was beautiful. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this stuff. And I started
Mm.
helping other people, kind of same thing I do with my books, you know. I'm helping
Uh-huh.
people and stuff. And I was like, this is something I would love to do one day. I even thought about going to cosmetology school and doing hair. Like it was a real full-on dream for a minute, where I wasn't even thinking about my when I published my book and I had a period where I didn't even think about books. I was focused on this.
Mm.
And I guess I can say the one thing I enjoyed about it at the time was I was expelling, I was gifting versus um people needing from me. I was pouring into people. And in my writing journey over the years, it was more of me not pouring into people. Mostly it was like a job. Like let me take this from you and take this from you and take this from you. And I began to not feel that way, but that like I liked it. So I'm like, this, you can't take anything from me. There's nothing you
Right.
can get from me. There's nothing you can use me for. That's how I felt. And I just fell in love with the idea of just being able to just do that and do it the
Mm.
way I wanted to. So I didn't do it then because I couldn't find a place that would I could afford, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Because back then it wasn't labs and stuff that you could talk to and deal with now.
Mm-hmm.
So I pushed off on the back burner, just kept growing my hair, kept doing things, kept helping people with their books, writing, doing the magazine, trying to do other stuff. And when I hit the 40 mark, it was like, why don't you revisit that idea now and just see what's out there in 2022? Yeah, I turned
Mm-hmm.
40. Yeah, let's see what's out there. And so I spent all 2023
Mm.
researching, finding a lab, experiment with products, loving what I had, then experiment with the product to see, okay, well, will people want this? Like, I love it. Like, how do I know other people are not gonna love it? And it worked. So I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just spent the time and established it in December of 2023. So now I
Mm.
have, Laquata Cosmetics and
Congratulations.
Laquata Cosmetics hair care. So I'm doing that as my baby now. So I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, and let's start with the first product because I got the first product. Let's start with the first product. Tell us a little bit. Show us. Do you got the bottle with you?
Yeah, I do. I'm glad I said it here. I don't know if you can see it,
Yeah, we can see
but
it. So
can you
tell
see
us
it?
about, yeah, tell us the name of that product and what do the products do for your hair?
Okay, so this was the first product. So I went back and forth on what to release, and I decided to go with a hair oil because I do love hair oils. And I wear protective styles a lot. So when I'm wearing protective styles, I use either some sort of a grease or oil in my braids because I'll keep
Mm-hmm.
them up for like 2 months or something like that. And that's just my
Mm-hmm.
preference. And so
Mm-hmm.
I decided to start with a hair oil, and it's a anti-itch hair oil. And since I'm a
Mm-hmm.
protective style person, um, I chose that because anti-itch because when you have your hair protected, you will go through itchy spells. Like you
Yep.
got to grab that braid, you got to
Mm,
rub,
I
you
know. I
got to
know.
pat, you got to pat your head a little bit. You got to take the bottom
Uh,
of your wig and just kind of or whatever. Are you grabbing when everybody looking? You kind of rub it left to right. I'm just saying, you just gonna get the
mm-hmm.
itch, right? And so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna come out, with my anti-itch product where you can put it on your hair and it kind of helps soothe itchiness while you're protecting your hair, whether it's braids, with cornrows, under wigs, in buns. Like you can use this to help protect your hair, but it also have properties where it can grow hair as well. But any way you take care of your hair can grow your hair because your hair is growing all the time. Just the
Right.
retaining part, but this can aid, keep your hair moisturized, soft, things of that nature. So this was the first product.
And what's the name of it?
It is just my anti-itch hair oil. So it's
Okay.
anti-itch if you can see it. I don't know if my camera's backwards on my front camera, but it's anti-itch hair oil.
Anti-itch oil.
Yeah. And it has like sunflower oil, rosemary oil, rice bran oil, grapeseed oil, juniper berry, biotin,
Oh, I
safflower.
got a lot of great chemicals and a lot of
Yeah,
great
it's got
stuff to use for your hair.
avocado oil. Yeah, like 9 different oils are in here. So
Now let me ask you a question about that because you
yes.
know when you putting out a product, a new product, whatever type of product you putting out, was you your worst critic for it? Like
Oh
how did
God.
you take?
I'm my worst critic to anything I do. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Yes. I was but it is weird because but I know how well it worked. But I was still
Hmm.
afraid, you know? So
Afraid.
so I began to, become my worst critic because of fear. I do have a problem with fear of doing,
Mm.
So yeah, so I am. I got a product I'm getting ready to release right now, and I'm already like almost talking myself out of it, but I
Mm.
got this. It's coming.
You got this. Trust me,
Oh
you got
yeah.
that. So your next product you have.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to release lines. So with my hair care company, what I don't want to just have one set of products because I truly, truly, truly believe that all hair types are different. Hair
Right.
problems and concerns are different. Hair densities are different. Hair porosities are different. So it's so many different factors between whether you're natural relaxed from 1A to 4C, like all that's
Mm-hmm.
different. And I just don't
Yeah.
think there's no one size product fit all. So I create a line. So with
Mm-hmm.
my line, this is going to be the anti-itch collection. So you have the oil, and then you
Mm-hmm.
also have this is my moisturizing blow dry cream because whenever you're
Mm.
doing a protective style or anything like that, most of the time you'll blow dry your hair before you do it. So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted something that's going to be moisturizing as well as a heat protectant if you choose to blow dry it as well if you choose to. So we
Mm.
have this cream here.
Now, could we see the cream? Is it the thick cream? Like what type
Can you
of?
give me that right there? Okay, so it is not super thick, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
watery either. It is very lightweight. So I don't know how you're going to see this in here. Let
I
me
could
hope you
see
know.
it.
Pull
It
it up.
looked like I could see it. It looked like creamy, like a relaxer
Right.
type. Yeah.
Right. Real creamy. So I mean I can
Mm-hmm.
put it on my fingers. It's very lightweight and it'll just like moisturize into your hand. So it's not a greasy film or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that. So it's kind of like that, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then when you can, I gotta put my top back on here. This is mine, by the way, mine. And of course, you rub it into your hands, but as you see, it doesn't leave.
It's not greasy.
Yeah, it's not oily or greasy or anything like that.
Right.
You just rub it onto your hair, and you can just use it as a moisturizer and or like I said, heat protectant for blow drying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, since you the owner of it, what could you tell? Like you just said, either or. But
Hmm.
when is the best time to use that? Like, say, like if I go wash my hair right now,
Hmm.
and not blow dry it, just wash it and condition it.
If you were to
Will it
wash
be
and
safe?
condition your hair, use your
Mm-hmm.
leave-in, whatever you're gonna do, you can use this on dry hair or
Oh,
damp
okay.
hair, on or
Okay.
damp hair after you have washed it. So
Wash
it can
it.
be used, like I said, as that moisturizing base. So let's say that you're not gonna blow dry your hair, but you're gonna use your leave-in, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
use this on there as well, and you can
Oh,
style
okay.
your hair. You know, style it to
N-
whatever style you want to use it for. But I've
Now,
used
is
it
it?
both ways, and I love
Uh
it. Makes your hair super soft. I love it.
And
I'm
do
all
you
about the softness.
Yeah. Now, do it have some type of smell to it, like fragrance
Oh
smell?
my God, yes. Okay, so yes. To me, it smells like very refreshing. I talk
I
about
gotta
like
order that. I gotta order that.
I can't wait to hear your thoughts. It it's not vanilla, but I think about maybe like a marshmallow or something. It had the only super ingredient that it really has in here that's a fragrance. It's got grapeseed and blood orange oil. But
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, it smells delicious. Very delicious.
Mm,
So, um,
mm.
Yeah. I tell
That's
people
good.
it smells refreshing, you know.
Hmm. Now, do the oil have like an anti-smell to it?
It does have a smell. Some people have told me that it smells like it doesn't smell minty because I don't have any peppermint in this one.
No, it
I
don't
do have
smell
a
like it. Don't smell minty. I'm
It
trying to
smells
figure out the
like
smell.
my daughter tells me it smells like the wild growth oil that she uses. I can't think of
Hmm.
that smell because it has a smell to me, but I can't think of what kind of smell. But it's not a
Yeah.
bad smell at all. It still has a
Yeah, it's
nice
not as
pleasant
bad
smell.
smell. Yeah, yeah. So two products you got on your line. What's the name
Yes.
of your line?
This particular hair care line is part of the anti itch. The way it is on my website is anti-itch collection, and
Mm-hmm.
I also have it under the protective style. And so it's like anti-itch plus protective style
Mm-hmm.
collection. Because if you are a person who wear protective styles, this could be really good for you. This could help
Yeah.
control your itch, and you can also have this doubled as a moisturizer and a blow dry cream, so you don't have to use a bunch of products, because you're
Right.
just going to protect your hair and put it up.
So let
You
me
know,
ask you a question.
there is more to come.
How often do you use it? How often could you use it? Every day, every other day, every
If you're
week?
gonna do the oil has multiple uses. You can use it as a hot oil treatment, a scalp massaging treatment, or you can put it in your deep conditioner. But I would say if you're gonna use this, use it 2 to 3 times a week if you want to. You can do it that
Mm-hmm.
way. Um, this here, of course, you would only use it when you want to moisturize your hair. So I would say, once or twice a week if you are doing like twist or something like that. But if you
Mm-hmm.
are protecting it just right before you do that protective style, and then
Mm-hmm.
when you get ready to take it down.
Oh, okay. All right. So what's coming? What's the next? What's coming next?
The
Is it too early to tell or
No,
what?
it's not. It's not. One other thing I do have in my possession is I have scalp massaging brushes.
Oh, I love that. I did. Oh
Yes.
my God,
You
Quisha,
like
that I'm
yours?
telling y'all, yes, I like it. I
Yes.
love
So
it.
this is
Yes.
the shampoo scalp massaging brush. So you can take
Uh.
this lid off here and put shampoo in there and put it
Mm-hmm.
back and you can
And
pump
that's
it.
what I did. But you know what? I ain't take the thing off. I just poured the shit.
You can do that too. And then
uh.
when you after you're done with your scrub or whatever or beforehand, you can just take it and you just massage your scalp. I love to use this for massaging my scalp. My fingers,
Mm-hmm.
this it works wonders to me. So I do have these in different colors and stuff like that that's available as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
put this in part, and it's not an anti-itch thing or anything like that, but it's a great thing to have in the collection to massage your scalp.
Right.
Keep that blood
Right.
flow circulating. But the product that's on its way, that I is going to be a part of the anti-itch collection, I felt would be very necessary to add a pomade, because when you're protecting your hair, you need something that's going to be like an edge control. Plus, you need something if you're doing braids to hold your braids. Like if you're doing
Mm-hmm.
individual ponytails for your braids or whatnot. So you can put it on there before you put the plait and then the braid or whatever. You can use it to put on there before you do a corn roll, or let's say you wearing your wigs or whatever, you can put it on your edges to smooth it down.
That's
So
what I
it
was
can really,
about to
really help.
ask you. I was about to ask you, is it like an edge control?
Yes, it can definitely be used as an edge control as well. So it's like that little 2 in 1, I guess you can call it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's great for, again, protective styling. It smells like pineapples.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Okay.
all that. So you'll be seeing me testing it out, which I've already tested it out before, but I'll get my bulk of everything together, and so you will see me putting getting my labels and stuff ready, and then I'll be testing out my jars. So I'm so excited.
I want to throw this out there. Have
Hmm.
you ever, and I know I can do it on a phone conversation, but I'm going to do it live. Have you ever thought about getting your own bonnet with Laquita on it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
for
I,
real?
I I think about it all the time, but I ain't
Do
there
it.
yet. Ain't
Yeah.
there yet.
But,
I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start with the customization yet. So I
mm-hmm,
do have bonnets and stuff that I'm looking at, because I do
mm-hmm.
want that, because that's a part of protective styling,
Right. Yeah.
So this whole first collection is really, really focus on that protective styling because I know that's who I am. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of us, we don't, especially as naturals, I'm going back natural. It's been a year. It's been a year this month. So
Mm-hmm.
that I haven't had a relaxer since I relaxed it last year. And one of the biggest things, especially when you're transitioning, doing a big chop and you're trying to grow your hair back, or you're trying to put your hair up just because it's been out for so long and just give it a break,
Right.
you
Mm-hmm.
protect the style. That's what we're gonna do. So I wanted my first line to represent that of who I am. So soon I'll have the shampoo and conditioner. I just ordered some bottles so I can see what bottles I want to put my shampoo and conditioner in. What
Mm-hmm.
ounces do I want? So I'm testing out some of those right now. Um, Another big thing for me is I feel it's good for people when their protective style is co-washing your hair because you may not shampoo every single time as naturals. So sometimes
Mm-hmm.
you may co-wash in the meantime. So I have that I'm working on as well. So I got a whole little anti-itch line going on, as well as working on a couple of different oils, for different hair concerns as well. So I can't wait to introduce.
And I could have swore you had a book on your hair out or coming out.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So I have a journal.
Journal. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's called My Hair Journal. So I have one that's out now, but I'm gonna revamp it and take that one down. I'm like two or three things left to do in it, and I just haven't done it because I've been focused on getting my labels right.
Mm-hmm.
Focused on building the business. I have to get it registered and everything that like that, and learning that whole behind the scenes process. Stressful, but figuring out my packaging and my promo printed stuff I want to do, which I'm so excited. I got some stuff coming in, and so I just kind of pushed it back. But yes, I have a hair journal to help people. When I first started, when I told you my hair came out and I found the gurus and everything,
I got
one
your first
thing
one. But go ahead.
one thing that they did was everybody journaled what they did for their hair. What was I using?
Mm-hmm.
What worked? What didn't work? They journaled, those progress pictures, and you journal things. And so I was like,
Yes.
man, I did it, and I grew my hair. So I was like, now before I got into this here, I did it anyway. I had the journal, but now I'm revamping
Mm-hmm.
it. Now that I'm into the hair care industry part, I'm revamping
Mm-hmm.
it because I'm like, okay, now I see there's more things that I need, even with your hair care tools, and I need to help with
Right.
education. So the journal has educational information. It has a few interactive games you can play to learn about different things about hair, as well as there's calendars in there for you to be able to keep up with your wash days, build a routine because it
Wow.
takes time. It took me, I think, almost a year to get a routine that worked for me because I didn't know what
Mm.
I was doing.
Right.
So I talk about different routines. I talk about. I have a hair analysis that's in there, so you can analyze your hair before you even get started. There's a
Wow.
every Yes, every 90 days you'll do a length check, and put a progress report in there for yourself. There's a before and after photo section so you can see how your hair looked when you started, and the journal is for a whole calendar year. And then you can see how
Mm.
your hair looks when you're done, at the end of that year, you know. And it's just interactive in that way. My goal is to have some stickers at some point, so you can use stickers in your
Stickers
journal.
in the journal.
Yeah,
Oh,
today
that'll
this is
be
my
nice.
wash day. Girl, you got
Uh-huh.
this.
Uh-huh.
Trust the
Oh, that'll
process.
be nice. Uh-huh. That'll be
Yeah,
real nice. Uh-huh.
yeah.
So your journal gonna be revamped. You got new products coming out. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Look, I think about this all the time. Okay, so I truly see myself. Hopefully, in 5 years, my line definitely has expanded. I have more hair concern related products releasing. I got a damage and repair collection I'm working on. I
Okay.
have a moisture therapy collection I'm working on. I have a collection I'm working on for people who do relax their hair and straighten their hair. I
Oh,
have
that's
a
good.
Yeah, I have various different collections I'm working on. So hopefully that stuff out and about, and I have my own little warehouse.
Dang, Quisha, I'm gonna have to throw all this other stuff out, and my dresser gonna be full with your items on my dresser. Uh, I would have to,
Uh,
I'm a good. You support me, I support you. You know that.
Aw, well,
So,
I appreciate it. I'm
yeah, I'm
hoping
gonna
you
have to.
still loving the product.
I do, and I still got. I think I got like a half a bottle left
Yeah,
from the oil.
one thing that a lot of people tell me is besides the hair growth, is it definitely controls their itch. I had a cousin
Mm.
who used it. She didn't believe it. She was like, I just bought it to support you because it's you. But I was like, LaQuisha, like really, like nah. And she said that her hair was in a protective style. She had some crochets and she's natural. And she said that she was like, you had the hair in for like 4 months and she was using it and didn't think none
Mm.
of it. Like, I got it, I'm just
Mm.
gonna use it, whatever. And when she took her hair down, she said, of course, well, that besides the growth, it was thicker, it was
Mm.
softer, it was shinier. And she said that little one itch, I got this one itch spot. And I just had to think about it. I don't even scratch my head, anymore. Like, it really helped my itch. I'm like, wow, thank you. And I had another girl who just signed up on my website. She did the subscription because for the hair oil, I have a monthly subscription you can subscribe to and get a 15% discount. And it'll automatically every month, like, charge your card and you automatically get an order and I automatically ship out your product. So every
Oh,
month it'll
okay.
come. So she's after her first use, she said, girl, she's going on her lock journey. And
Mm.
she said, girl, I already have to get my hair retwisted at the roots because it done grew so much and it definitely helped with my itch. And I said,
Mm.
oh, okay, so we good on locks too.
Mm.
And so what she did was she did a 1 year lock journey. And you
Mm.
could see the growth of her locks. And I commented, I said, oh, I just hope that we, was really helpful on the journey. She said, oh yeah. Matter of fact, she said, I'm gonna order another bottle right now. And instead of just ordering a bottle, she ordered a monthly subscription to make sure she get it every month.
Oh,
And
that's good.
I thought that was really good. And then my sister, same thing with her. She told me, I don't care what else you come out with. She said, these two products here, that's all I'm using because she loves it so much, with her hair, just
Hmm.
controlling the itch. Her hair is thicker because hair seemed to be, the density of it was getting thinner and she wanted to be
Hmm.
back thick. And so she said it's definitely helping with her thickness and her
Mm.
itch. And she said she's gonna send me a little growth picture so I can see how long it's done grown. It's down to her waist now, so she's super excited about that. And one of my cousins told me it helped with her curl pattern. Not only did it
Mm.
grow her edges, she said, but as a natural, her curl pattern changed. And she showed me the before and after.
Mm.
And
After.
it was night and day, beautiful. I said, oh yeah.
Mm. Right.
Oh yeah.
So you're getting so much feedback, it
Hmm.
just makes you want to just keep going, going, going.
I just I believed in it. I knew what I had. And one woman said her husband can't keep his hands out of her hair because how
Mm.
soft it is. He's always touching her hair because how soft it is.
Mm.
The compliments that he's giving her about her hair, even when they're out to dinner, he just complimenting her hair because it looks so good and healthy. And I was like, yay, this is what I wanted.
I'm gonna see how we're gonna do because before I got my braids in my hair, I got braids in my hair. Before I got my braids in my hair, I did put some in, and then like every week I've been putting it, opening my braids and putting it in like the parts
Hmm.
and stuff. So once I take my braids out, which I supposed to have took it out today, but I ain't feel like it. Once I take my braids out and wash the condition, and I want to see the length on my hair that's good
Yeah,
because I can see a lot of
I tell people give it at least 3 to 6 months. That's what I tell people, and I
yeah,
know people don't want to wait that long. I had a girl
yeah,
a few weeks ago. She said, "Well, how long will it take to work on your hair?" I said, "Well, I'm not advertising as it's a hair growth product because your hair is constantly
yeah,
growing. It's growing
yeah,
whether you take care of it or not. So the oil is not going to just be the coat put on your hair.
yeah.
Is how you take care of it and retain your length.
Treat your
It's going to
hair. You gotta
matter."
treat it.
And so I told her, I said, just give it 3 to 6 months for it to,
Uh huh.
for you to really, really see results. My
Yeah.
sister, the one that I was telling you about, who told me she's only going to use my two products,
Hmm.
after just using it and using it, after about
Yeah.
the fourth month, she
Uh
saw
huh.
like a huge difference because if you use a product and say, okay, in 2 weeks, oh my god, it worked on my hair.
Uh
Two
huh.
weeks, like, let's be
Mm.
honest, 2 weeks, yes, you got a lot of new growth, I get that, but
Right.
hair, we only grow so much. So give it some time to truly see exactly
See.
what it's doing to your
Yeah.
hair, because you got to realize you may be dealing with your roots because you're putting your oil on there.
Hmm.
But let's talk
Right.
about these ends. the ends
Right.
of your hair. And if you are a person who hasn't been taking care of your hair, don't know where to start and things like that, and you're getting it together, then you got to make sure not only is the root taken care of, but your ends as well to retain the growth that you're getting.
Let me ask you a question. So, how often do you suggest everyone should cut? And I know everybody hair is different. At least trim the ends of the hair. How
That is
often?
such a touchy topic because I'm gonna tell you, I used
Hmm.
to go a whole year and I wouldn't trim.
Wow.
I would keep my hair protective styles. I would
Uh huh.
braid it up, put it in cornrows, put crochet or a
Uh
wig on
huh.
my head or something, and I would do that for like 3 months. And I'm washing my
Hmm.
hair in while I got the stuff in my head. So I'm
Yeah.
not just going 3 months without taking care of my hair. I'm still taking
Right.
care of my hair, washing with shampoo and all that stuff, and I put my oil on it and everything like that. And then once I take my hair down, I probably wear it for a couple of days, a week, week and a half, and then I'm going to put it back up. And I was doing that off and on throughout, a year. And
Hmm.
I would do that, and then I would trim like an inch and a half off my hair because
Yeah.
I just trim a good chunk off because it grew so much. But then you
Yeah.
have people who don't do that. They are not
Right.
big on protective styling as
Trim their
much.
hair.
And, they wear their
Hmm.
hair more and things like that. So I think a person should analyze it and trim as needed. Because not everybody can be on the same trim schedule. You can tell somebody, yeah,
Right.
you can trim your hair every 6 to 8 weeks. Well, I went to a beautician when I was on my hair journey, so I'm like, I want to see what this is like going to a beautician every 2 weeks because I had some bad experiences. I didn't trust anybody. But now that I knew
Hmm.
how to take care of my hair, so if she did anything wrong to it, I know how to fix it. But I love my beautician. She had hair down to her butt. She had some beautiful long hair. I didn't know it was that long at the time because she always kept
Hmm.
it pent up. But
Hmm.
I found out years later how long her hair truly was. But she trimmed my hair the first time I saw her. And I went to her for 8 solid months. And I was looking like, they say I should get my hair trimmed at least every 6 to 8 weeks. So I'm like, ma'am, I noticed you ain't trimmed these ends, like what's wrong? And she said, I don't know what you're doing outside of me, because I went to her only every payday, like every 2 weeks.
Hmm.
She said, I don't know what you're doing outside of me. She said, but you don't need a trim. I mean, she said,
Mm.
it's been 8 months and I'm looking at your hair. She said, your ends are healthy. She said your
Mm.
hair is very healthy, as a matter of fact. And she said, so I don't need to trim your ends. And that was the first time I noticed, like, man, you don't always have to do that every 6 to 8 week thing or every whatever they say. You know what I'm saying? You
Three
trim your
months.
hair. And right,
Right.
that's why you have to learn. That's my big thing. Learn your hair, which that's why
Right.
I create the journal for you to learn your hair, because not only is it
Hmm.
the calendar and the education part and the analysis, it also has all your lens checks in there. It also has questions. Hey, what worked for my hair this month? What did not work for my hair? What products did I like? What product did I not like?
Hmm.
What challenges did I go through this month in dealing with
Hmm.
my hair? What was a problem area that I found? So it's just a few things to open any question, make you think about your hair so you can learn it. Because if you don't
Right.
know what your hair needs, because you ain't learned your hair, then you're going to be putting products on that could be damaging to it. Because I
Right.
can have low porosity hair, you could have high porosity hair. You cannot use the same products I use on my hair for
Right.
your hair. You know,
Right.
you could have extremely damaged dry hair that's over protein based and needs more moisture, but I could have hair that's highly moisturized and doesn't have that balance with the protein. I might need to work something else out.
Right.
So I tell people, learn your hair. That way you will know when you need your trims and when you don't. So that's
Hmm.
that's my thing.
That's
That's my
such
that's
a
my take on it.
that's Laquisha take on it. So, Quisha, before I let you go, it's always a pleasure talking to you. But could you let everybody know how they can reach out to you, how they can where they can go at to purchase your hair products, your books, whatever.
Okay. Yeah. So if it comes to my books, they're just on Amazon. Matter of factly, I have some Kindle Vellas out. I Am Unique is one dealing with peer pressure. Then I have my Secrets Amongst Friends out, dealing with family, family, not rivalries, but faith, forgiveness, family, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Little you thing. So you can get all my books. I'm gearing straight toward Amazon or Barnes and Nobles or wherever you can find them. Some of them have shown up
Mm-hmm.
on Walmart and Target. So that's the book side. But when it
Mm-hmm.
comes down to my hair care side, you can definitely find it online. You can find it on Facebook at Laquata Cosmetics. You can actually. Oh, I think we're back. Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so with the hair products, you can find them on Facebook under Laquata Cosmetics and the webpage, and there's a shop owner. You can buy them directly from Facebook, or you can go to laquatacosmetics.com and you can buy the products there as well. And any discounts or sales I do on my website will also show up on Facebook as well at the same time. You can also
Mm.
purchase them off of Instagram under Laquata Cosmetics. I have a shop there as well. So that's kind of where I'm on TikTok just for social media if you want to follow me there. But
Mm.
purchase wise, you can go to my website.
Mm. Now
And
repeat
right
your
now, if
website
you
again.
sign up, it's laquatacosmetics.com. So it's LAQUATTA in cosmetics. So yeah. But if you go there now, you can get a 15% discount just for joining my mailing list. But I
Mm.
also have other perks on there to where as a member, you get rewards or loyalty points called beauty bucks. And so you can just for create an account, just to create the account itself gives you $3 off your first purchase. So not only do you get a
Oh, that's
15%
good.
discount, yeah, not only do you get a 15% discount that you can use, you can choose to also use a $3 discount at some point as well. And then
Mm.
as you spend make purchases, you get $1 for every $1 you get 1 point in bucks. And you
Mm.
can use your books, as you see fit. And then you can also join my hair group called Quada Beauties on Facebook. So you can also follow us there. Where you can have I do more educational and learning things in there. So I'm not just
Uh-huh.
trying to sell you in the group. I'm trying to teach at the same time, offer resources, helpful tips and tricks and things of that nature in the group. So
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, Laquita. I'm going to call you
Oh,
Laquita. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead,
I'm
Laquisha.
sorry.
What?
One more thing on the website. On the website right now, I have two ebooks up. There's a volume one, volume two on how to take care of your natural hair. So how to take care of your hair. So there's all kind of helpful resourceful information there, as well as DIY things you can do at home with everyday products around your home. They're on the website as well, and I'm also coming up with a 90-day challenge for people as well. So that's on the website as well to sign up so you can know when that's releasing. So yeah, all on the website.
Girl, you are doing so much. Like, when do you get time for yourself?
What's that? This actually, I
Wow.
love this. I sleep this. I wake up to this. I eat thinking of this. Like I'm constantly thinking of this stuff. Like
Mm.
because I do really I enjoy the feedback that I hear from my people.
Customers.
I
Yeah.
enjoy it. I have people who or love my product so much to where they're like, hey, anything you get new, let me know. So my goal is I'm trying to come up with some sample trial size or whatever you want to
Mm-hmm.
call it of my product. So I'm testing bottles of what
Mm.
I want. Because as I introduce products, I want to give them, especially to the people that's in my group, I want to be able to just give them like,
Right.
hey, here's something to try. Here's something new. If you like it, let me know. Give me your feedback so you can kind of get the first dibs on
Yeah.
products.
Right.
So I have a few people on my team for that right now who's like, yes,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as something drops, let me know. I want to try it. I love your product so much right now. I know you're not just going to throw me out there anything. And I try my products for a long
Mm-hmm.
time before I even introduce them to anybody else. Between me and my family, I'm like, hey, sis, try this. I'm going to try this on mine. You try it on your hair type. Let's see what we got.
I
So
know
yeah.
that's right. And if your family ain't sticking by you and helping you try out stuff, who will?
Yes, my
Who
sister
will?
also signed up for a subscription as well, so she don't have to be without.
Uh.
And then I have a 3 month supply on there, and she's been telling me she's been battling like I run out so fast because she's on her and her son's hair. So I'm debating. I want to get that 3 month supply. I told her, yeah, go
Mm.
for it. So it's a discount on it, so you get 3 months
That's
supply
right.
with a
Why
discount.
not? And
Yeah.
like I said again, congratulations on all your success, much more. Thank you for being on my show, Let's Talk to Podcast, which just wasn't the first time you was on there. So I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much for the help that you give me when I need to call you and ask you a question. Um, you know, just continue on doing you. That's
You
all you can
too.
do is thank you. Continue on doing you. And we're going to talk soon because I got to call you. So we're going
I'm I'm here.
we going to talk soon. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, okay?
You too. Bye.
All right, bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk To podcast with author Charnel Williams. Tune in next time every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to live, laugh, and love.